All right, fantastic. So welcome again to the College Bound Updates webinar. My name is Sarah Weiss. Again, I'm the Director of College Access Initiatives at the Student Achievement Council. I'm joined here today with colleagues from WASAC, as well as fantastic partners with College Bound work from the College Success Foundation. We will be talking about a lot of different things related to College Bound updates, as well as strategies and resources, and I look forward to our time together. So just a reminder that WASAC is a state agency. Our goal is to advance educational opportunities, attainment, enrollment for students through all across Washington state. We do that by administering financial aid programs, college access work, as well as the 529 programs too. And so lots of different resources and opportunities that we do at WASAC to help support that educational opportunity with everyone in the state. A little bit about clock hours before we get started with the webinar. They are available. A reminder to you that if you want clock hours, they're available for this webinar. The info was emailed out to all those via the listserv and those who are registered for the webinar. They're available through ESD 113. So if that's of interest, please go to the PD enroller listed here and get your clock hours. So some key takeaways for today's webinar. We are going to be talking about the College Bound auto enrollment overview that was passed a couple of years ago, what it is, what it isn't, how it works. We're doing an overview of College Bound in general. For those who joined this webinar in the past, this may be a bit of a review for you, but there are some new things, I promise. But if you're new to College Bound, hopefully this will be some really good insight into how the program works for you. We will be talking about resources for support, both offered from WASAC, College Success Foundation, as well as some other partners. And then what are all of our next steps in further supporting college-bound students will be kind of our wrapping up. And then we're going to end with an activity, yes, a Zoom activity. And we'll end on a high note. Again, lots of opportunity for questions at the end of our presentation. So I want to remind everybody what the College Bound is about. College Bound is a commitment to students, first and foremost. It's a commitment that combines with other aid, mostly Washington College Grant, to ensure that these specific costs are covered by state financial aid for students. Tuition at public rates, some fees, and a small amount for books. That's what the College Bound commitment really is, that will be covered for eligible students. College Bound can be used at over 65 private and public colleges, universities in Washington. This includes 2 years, 4 years, public, private, career colleges, technical schools. There are so many opportunities for our students with College Bound. You may see throughout the presentation, we're starting to transition away from using the word scholarship as much. As I said, College Bound is really a commitment of aid to eligible students, and it doesn't really function as a traditional scholarship. Those of you who've worked with students in the past may know this and may have seen this, that it can be very confusing for students who are looking for that kind of traditional the scholarship route and how those work. So we're working to frame College Bound as the state's commitment to students, that commitment of state aid to cover those specific costs at over 65 colleges and universities around the state. Enrolling and receiving College Bound is a two-step process, or bookends, as I like to call it. Kind of the two steps, the bookends to the eligibility process. Public school students who are eligible for free and reduced price lunch in 7th or 8th grade, or who are newly eligible in 9th grade, will be automatically enrolled through a partnership with WASAC and OSPI. This is based on your district's reporting. So if you're from a district or a school, that data is reported for free and reduced price lunch eligibility is reported up to OSPI. And that is then in turn used for, with some other data, which I'll show in a minute, used for auto enrollment for College Bound. Foster youth who are in state foster care are automatically enrolled from 7th grade through high school graduation with a partnership between WASAC and Department of Children, Youth, and Families. So that they can be automatically enrolled into College Bound when they're older than the larger population. Step 2, or really the other end of that bookend, is fulfilling the College Bound pledge, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. Meeting income requirements, residency requirements, and enrolling in an eligible college to receive funds. They obviously have to go to a Washington college, one of those 65 or over 65, to actually receive the funds. Now, here is something new, bright in yellow. For those of you who've attended this webinar before and think I'm just going to talk about exactly the same things, no, I'm not. I've got some new information for y'all. I want to talk about a review and a reminder about the College Bound pledge requirements. Students still must meet the College Bound pledge, but the 2.0 GPA requirement, that there are some new language around that, legislation around that. Beginning in fall of 2023, there are no GPA requirements for those who plan to attend a community or technical school to receive College Bound. If students want to enroll directly into a 4-year right after high school, they would still have to have that 2.0 GPA requirement. If a student initially goes to a community or technical college or career school with below a 2.0, is doing well, meeting requirements, and then transfers to a 4-year, they would be able to get College Bound. They're not going to lose their College Bound because their high school GPA was lower. No felony convictions, that's still a requirement. And students must be income eligible as well. Students must enroll in college within 1 year of high school graduation. They have 5 years from graduating high school to use 4 years worth of scholarship. They also need to complete a FAFSA or a WASFA to be determined as income eligible for the program. Now, a little teaser here, keep you on for the rest of the webinar. New, the FAFSA that for students going into college next fall is delayed until December. I'm going to talk more about that later, so hang on with us. We're going to talk about it, have some fun later with that. A bachelor's degree is still the highest degree that a student can earn with College Bound. So now a bit about the auto enrollment process. This is a big question that we frequently get. It's passed in 2021, House Senate Bill 5321 in 2021, but we still get questions about it. And so I thought it would be really helpful to outline kind of that process. So we focus on the auto enrollment process focuses on public school students with that OSPI data exchange that I mentioned, access to eligibility data. If you are working with students at private schools or who are homeschooled, please contact us. Please have them contact us or you contact us. There are ways to enroll them into College Bound. Absolutely. It just doesn't happen with that automatic process. There are many ways that a student can be noted as free and reduced price lunch eligible that we will talk about in a couple slides. One way is obviously the free and reduced price lunch family, the application. If a student or district doesn't do free and reduced price lunch applications because they participate in like the community eligibility provision or program or CEP, or they just don't participate in USDA free meals at all. There's something called the Family Income Survey that districts can administer. There's also a process at every district called direct certification that feeds in data from other sources of program eligibility. And I have an amazingly visual slide on that here in a minute that includes SNAP, TANF, and other sources. So keep on for that as well. Schools report data to OSPI monthly. That data then comes to WASAC starting in November of every year. The beginning of the school year, as I'm sure all you know, is kind of a whirlwind. Getting enrollment data up to date and locked in for that year takes a little bit of time. So that starts in November of every year. And the enrollment data, we're going to talk more about this later, but the enrollment data does not include student contact information. which is critical to awareness around the college-bound opportunity. And so we rely on school and district partners to share that contact information with us, so that we can communicate with college-bound students via text, via mail, all of those good things, and email. So we do mail certificates to students and monthly. So new addresses that we get, those certificates go out monthly to let students know about the program. So a bit more on timeline. You can work on updating contact information now. As I said, November is when we get the new round of students, but you know, there are students who are in 8th grade all up through senior year that many of whom do not have contact information in there and may not have received a certificate or aren't enrolled in OtterBot. OtterBot, not OtterBox, OtterBot, which we'll talk about later as well, our texting platform. And so you can update student contact information now. Again, we anticipate receiving the auto enrollment data in November of this year, which will include additional new students. And then it will be monthly after that. So we will get monthly updates from OSPI. So you may have just fallen out of your chair or hit your head on the back of the wall. I hope not. Stay safe. But this slide, I love this slide, even though it can be a little visually overwhelming, because it just shows the vast breadth of opportunity for students to be noted as eligible for free and reduced price lunch, and then auto enrolled into college bound. It's an illustration of the free and reduced price lunch data sources I mentioned on the previous slide. This is meant to show you that there again are numerous ways of collecting student eligibility for free and reduced price lunch that then in turn is used for college bound auto enrollment through that OSPI WASAC data exchange. And so I'm going to pause for a moment. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Sean Moran, who's going to walk us through using the WASAC portal and some other information. Sean?
Thanks so much, Sarah. Hello, everyone. My name is Sean Moran. I'm the data analyst for College Access Initiatives. And if you wouldn't mind going to the next slide, Sarah. So now let's talk about the College Bound portal. Most of you may already have accounts. If you don't already have an account to the portal, please reach out to collegebound@wasac.wa.gov. We both have staff accounts as well as nonprofit accounts, depending on what situation you have. So on the WASAC portal, we have the College Bound toolbox, as you can see, which is where you will see the active students on your list. We get weekly data from OSPI about the college bound students already matched, and then can find out if they are currently enrolled at a specific school at that time. As Sarah mentioned, enrollment data may be a little delayed. So you may see that some of your ninth graders or some of your other grades are not appearing. And so typically student enrollment data can be delayed up to October or late October. We hope to get all of that then, and like I said, we'll have it all up to date in the portal. So the toolbox allows you to get to know your students on the list. It will also tell you who has bad addresses, and you may have heard the term bad addresses before. This means that the student does not have an address listed, or we have an address listed that has resulted in returned mail. The bad address list is a great way to identify which students may not have contact information present, but it also is important that you know there will be those students with mailing addresses, but we don't have their student contact information. This means that they may not be bad addresses, but we still need that information so they can get email campaigns as well as OtterBot enrollment, as Sarah mentioned. And it can be good to run your full student list to see who is missing certain contact information. So we have multiple ways for updating contact information. You can either click on the student's view details and update individually, or you can use our bulk update feature. And you can actually see the QR code at the bottom right. for the Toolbox student resources. In addition, there's an FAQ and the College Bound Toolbox video that are on the front page of the College Bound Toolbox on the right column. So when you are working on building a bulk update, we want to encourage you to know that there are multiple ways in which people are working to make this a bit easier. Starting soon, Pablo Rodriguez, who handles bulk update, will start supporting portal users with office hours to give support that will be looking at what are common questions as well as ways to build some of the file structures. Look at informational email soon about what that will look like. You could also just pull a full student list with all the contact fields mentioned in the bulk update template. Only those with matching college-bound applications will be imported into the system. This may be different than the past guidance, but this is also because of auto-enrollment. The toolbox now just updates existing records. College-bound student records are only created from the auto-enrollment process or individually by WASAC staff in the case of private school students or homeschool students. Then there is also the fact that many of your districts have data personnel who may be able to assist in developing the file necessary to make this import easy and quick. So you can share with them the template that we provide as well as the instructions on the College Bound Toolbox under bulk update. It has a lot of information, especially on the formats, which is crucial. We will also be doing a portal usage survey here in a few weeks so that we can better understand the experience of portal users when updating student contact information. Next slide, sir. Thank you. So, as Sarah mentioned, we use this contact information in a variety of places. We use this to ensure we get the certificates mailed to students as soon as possible so that they know they have the college-bound commitment early on. And it can help them start thinking about future possibilities and careers and fields that may be of interest. We need these addresses or else we cannot get this information to students, but we also need other pieces of information such as email and phone numbers so that we can get high school grade level mailings to them, that as well as the email campaigns we do with resources and information on FAFSA completion, FAFSA reminders. And now that we've talked a little bit about OtterBot, maybe we can go into what that looks like. Can you go to the next slide, sir? So OtterBot messaging goes out in students' junior and senior years. At the same point, guardians will be receiving messaging to assist them in better understanding how to best support their students with these various steps of post-high school education preparation. So let's talk about what it is. We actually have campaigns that we've established, and actually you can go to the next one. Oh, perfect. So some of these campaigns look at financial aid awareness and completion. We have some on college readiness support, due dates, and their reminders. And then we also look at how to best support them based on what they tell us. So if we find resources that might be of help, once we find out more from what they've answered in some of our more interactive campaigns, we can start building in things that might be of interest, such as if they're interested in specific apprenticeships. Besides that, we also have an extensive OtterBot knowledge base that students and guardians can ask questions to. This knowledge base is always developing as new question variations are asked, and new topics may need new information updates, so we recognize that as well. We work with our chatbot provider to ensure we are keeping this information reliable and relevant to our guardians and students. Lastly, we work to update our students and guardians to relevant opportunities at specific colleges. So if we find out something about the colleges, we want to get that information to them as well. So this could be due dates, reminders, once we find out what colleges they might be interested in. As of 2022, OtterBot has already sent over 5 million messages to over 60,000 students and over 60,000 parents and guardians. This number continues to rise. We need these phone numbers to be updated so that the students and guardians can have the additional support. If you have a non-CB student who you feel would also benefit from these resources, they can opt themselves in by following the directions on opting in on the OtterBot webpage. Now, we would like to turn it over to our colleagues at College Success Foundation.
All righty. Hello, everybody. It is time for you to meet the College Bound regional officers. We work for the College Success Foundation in partnership with WASAC. So let's get it started. Next slide, please. Thank you much. So for short, we like to call ourselves the CBROs. And here is a map to show our small but mighty team and the regions that we cover. So each of us do a similar job, but just in different regions. So my name is Kennedy Coleman, and as you can tell by my lovely, beautiful background, I'm based in the city of Tacoma. Not only do I serve Tacoma, but I serve South Puget Sound and Southwest regions of the state. So generally that's about Tacoma down to Vancouver and out to the coast. So if you're in that region, you can reach out to me anytime for College Bound support. And we're going to take a quick moment to go around and have the other CBROs introduce themselves as well. So I'm going to pass it off to Melissa.
Wonderful. Thanks, Kennedy. My name is Melissa Pico. I support the Seattle and King County area for College Bound. So if you are in King County, you can always reach out to me about College Bound questions. I also want to note we currently have a unfilled position over on the coast. So right now that position is unfilled, but we will have contact information later in our slides for who you can contact in the meantime if you are over on the peninsula, northwest coastal region of our state. And I will pass it off to Raul.
Hello, everybody. My name is Raul Sanchez. I am the College Bound Regional Officer for Northeast and North Central regions. And so with that, you'll see in the background, I am based in Spokane, Washington. And so with that, basically, I am here to serve and support counselors, anybody in the region along the I-90 region on the eastern side of the mountains, as well as some of the area of what's it called, the Pullman area and things like that as well. So I just recently started a couple months ago, but I'm really excited to work with those in my region, really to support you with any questions guiding with the College Bound Scholarship and financial aid too. I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Amber.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amber Goodrich. I'm the College Bound Regional Officer for the Southeast and South Central regions of Washington. I am currently based out of Yakima. My footprint is pretty large, probably all the way up to Wahluke, over to Clarkston, and all the way down to Walla Walla and College Place. So I serve a pretty large area. I would love to engage with any of you that fall in my regions. We'll have my contact information in a couple of slides, so please feel free to reach out for me on any questions that you have. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So yes, as you can see, we don't currently have anyone in our Northwest Coastal region. This covers that Northwest and Peninsula regions. We hope to have a new CBRO in that role soon. And if you are in that region and need support, you can reach out to the Northwest Coastal Executive Director. His name is Keith, and we'll have his contact information at the end of our little section here. Next slide, please. Alrighty, so there are quite a few ways that you can partner with us. The biggest squares on this slide here are to show you the two main focuses of our role. So half of our job is about College Bound awareness, making sure that you and your students know about College Bound, how it works, and where you can use it. The other half of our role is focused on financial aid completion. So that's our FAFSA and our WASFA applications. And our goal is to increase financial aid completion across the state. Now, our bottom three squares here go over the different ways that we carry out the two focuses of our role. So The first is that we can support your student and family-facing events like financial aid completion workshops or college and career fairs. We can also deliver trainings to practitioners. So if you're working at a middle school or a high school or a community-based organization, and you think that your team would benefit from some focus time learning about College Bound, or even the FAFSA and WASPA processes, we can book out some time for that. And we also just offer general support and resources related to College Bound and financial aid. So if you need a handout to give to a classroom of students, or you want to know how to access the College Bound portal to see your list of eligible students, that's absolutely something that we can support you with. Now, just keep in mind that each of the CBROs, we serve different regions with different needs, and we have slightly different ways of supporting our people. So we also cover huge regions that requires us to do a little bit of prioritization as well. But please know that we are here for you as a resource, and we will do our best to support you in the ways that we can. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Melissa again for the next slide.
Wonderful. Thanks, Kennedy. So one of the things that we have been working on over the summer, well, even last spring, with our wonderful partners at WASAC, is to refresh our repledge materials. Some of you, as was mentioned before, some of you may remember, prior to auto enrollment, students used to have to sign a pledge, and we would also then have repledge events after that. And we had materials to go with that. Since we don't have to do a pledge, there is no repledge necessary for with the wonderful auto enrollment, we wanted to reimagine what these support materials might be like. So College Success Foundation and WASAC worked together to come up with Create Your Future, which is our refresh materials for College Bound. And really, we wanted to focus more on how students see themselves in the future and create a resource that educators could use with their students to help promote College Bound and to think about their future selves. So this is our little preview. Some of the sections that are going to be in the Create Your Future materials include a College Bound 101 review, remind students what that is, what they might maybe auto-enrolled for, hopefully. We also have an Explore Your Roadmap. So there's a wonderful existing resource roadmap website that helps students connect their passions and interests into what that may look like in a career. And so we have an exercise that educators can use with their students for that. And then here we have a preview of our Fit and Match worksheet. And so this is thinking about, given the careers that match with their passions and interests, what might college pathways look like for them? And so it helps students think about a good match. And so this is a little bit of a preview of some of the icons and kind of the vibe of our Create Your Future materials that you'll see. We'll also have a goal setting worksheet, whether that might be a goal around their college pathway, whether that might be a goal from their high school and beyond plan, whatever goal seems most relevant, it will help them use SMART goals to get there. And then we also really wanted to emphasize scholarship exploration. Anytime we talk about College Bound, we always encourage students to apply for many scholarships that will help them cover housing costs and any other costs that come up during their college career. So we wanted to help educators with this process even before students may be at the point where they're ready to apply for scholarships, just to explore what kind of scholarships are out there and what may I be able to apply for when it comes time for that. And these materials, they can be used in middle school, they can be used in early high school years, and also with seniors. And really, they're meant to be accessible for educators and students. So we have educator notes similar to what you would see when you're accessing curriculum as an educator. And a couple of them also have PowerPoints that if they have introductory material that students need to understand or talk through, that we already have the PowerPoints there for the educator, so you don't have to do more work. So this is our materials. We're hoping to have it ready by the end of this year. And if we can go to the next slide, you'd be able to find the materials on our website, on our College Success Foundation website. And we will also, of course, be blasting out and letting you know when these materials are ready and having other promotional and just exciting opportunities around the materials. But ultimately, they will end up on our website on College Success Foundation under our program page, the Washington College Access Network, or WACAN. So when you get this slide deck, not only do you have where our website is, but we included a URL for you as well. And we can go to the next slide. Wonderful. And so as a follow-up from our introduction slide, we wanted to also provide our email addresses associated with the different regions. So you can see all of us there, including everyone that you got introduced to, as well as for the Northwest and Peninsula, the executive director that you can contact in the meantime. Thank you so much from your College Success Foundation team, and I will turn it back over to Sarah.
Great. Thank you so much for all those fantastic and exciting resources. I can't wait for the future of the refresh campaign, and it's going to be really exciting. So thank you so much for sharing about it. Look forward to seeing that. I'm going to share some additional WASAC resources with y'all right now that are available for free to everyone and anyone who wants to use them to support you with your work with students. Plus, we're also going to talk about one additional content item to come. So stay tuned. Going to keep everyone on their feet with this one. So stay tuned. We're going to talk a little bit more about that here coming up in a minute. So with College Bound resources, just didn't want folks to forget the College Bound website. Don't forget about the downloadable flyers, templates. We've got a website template coming soon there that if you want to put information about College Bound on your website, we can copy and paste it. You can copy and paste it. Presentations, we link to our partners at CSF for their resources. It's also where you can order hard copy materials such as our high school brochure, swag items, pens, bracelets, posters, OtterBot content as well. So the College Bound website down there, the QR code or the bit.ly link will get you there. It's also linked on the College Bound website too. And those of you who work with high school students, I want to do a shout out to Christina Winstead and Yasleen Torres Pena with the 12th year campaign and Sam on our team. 12th year campaign provides free training, materials, and other resources. There's videos, again, templates, downloadable work that will support your students through the college admissions and financial aid application process. We also have many materials available in multiple languages, as you can see on the slide. New college knowledge. That's not the update I'm going to share in a minute, the one I was hinting at, but this is also very exciting. New college knowledge titled College and Career Knowledge booklets are available any day now. We are finalizing the process to get them in our fulfillment center, and so they should be available for order any day now. They are beautiful. Thank you to so many partners who helped us create a 2.0 version of this. So you can order those in English starting soon, and then Spanish will be available as soon as possible. We're working on that one as well. And you can order that through the 12th year campaign QR code or the website right there. You can get to the resources link. All right, so here's a bit of content I was hinting at, right? Is that get everyone's attention right now. Pay attention. I want everyone here. Focus on me. I wish I could see like 1, 2, 3 eyes on me, right? But I can't quite do that right now. It's downside of a virtual world. I'm still going to do it. 1, 2, 3 eyes on me, right? The FAFSA and WASFA are going through some significant changes due to the FAFSA Simplification Act this year. I'm going to talk about those changes in a minute. It has many positives for students, but the big takeaway for this specific year is that due to the implementation of these changes, the U.S. Department of Education, who oversees the FAFSA, and thus the WASFA, are delaying the application until December. They need extra time to make sure those implementation changes go through. So for students who would normally be starting the application now, it's going to open in December. That's for the 24-25 FAFSA. There isn't a specific date yet. Guessing there's a couple chats like when in December, but we don't know a specific date yet. But I can promise you this: as soon as we hear from the Department of Education, we will share it out with everyone and anyone. Shout it from the virtual rooftops. Although I think Christina Winstead might actually get on her roof to shout it once it comes out. So rather than pumpkin spice and Halloween when we're doing the FAFSA or WASFA, grab some peppermint tea, a scarf, get cozy, and start thinking about it. Start doing the applications sometime in December for the class of 24. Some of the other changes that are coming in addition to the timeline for this year. Again, reminder that the WASFA will still mirror the FAFSA with these changes, and it will also mirror it with the delay, as I mentioned. The FAFSA and WASFA will have less questions. Students and parents, anyone contributing to a FAFSA will only answer questions relevant to them. This is really the exciting part. More students will be eligible for Pell Grant and the awards will be larger. That is amazing news. That's fantastic based on the calculations. Again, the date change for this year is that it will open in December. Support and training are available for folks such as our Aim Higher Washington training that Christina and Yasleen and Sam, in partnership with the State Board for Community and Technical Colleges, Council of Presidents, Independent Colleges of Washington, and then WASAC lead. We have a virtual training next week if you want to join that. And then we will have several, we had the one in September, but we will have several more in-person trainings later this year as well. You can scan that QR code or go to that website link. The registration for the in-person ones will be up there by the end of this week is our goal. So definitely check those out. There'll be a lot of fun, a lot of good information, a strategy session so you can kind of, as well as the content, so you can plan and get best practices and all that good stuff. So really good opportunity. Please join us for that. Finally, I want to mention WASAC Wednesday. This is another pretty informal way to get support by stopping by virtually a WASAC Wednesday. It's essentially drop-in open office hours. Christina runs them with WASAC staff. Others join. You can get questions about financial aid answered, College Bound, Washington College Grant, OtterBot, anything related to college access. Please come join us. It's the first Wednesday of every month from 10 to 11 a.m. You can register in advance from the website there. As Sean noted, starting probably in November is when we're thinking, and we'll do a champions listserv out when the dates and the registration are open. But Pablo on our team, who many of you may know through the update process, will also soon be starting office hours specifically for those who need help with the bulk update tool in the College Bound portal. So that will be a resource as well that will be coming soon. Great, and just another, as we get to the end of our content for today, because we want to leave plenty of time for questions, just a reminder that if you want those clock hours, please jump on the PD Enroller with ESD 113 and grab those. You can get to them from the website up there. And if you, again, the email, the registration email and the confirmation emails had the information in there too. Okay, so this is an activity. I love this activity. We're going to move forward with an activity here. Don't type anything in the chat quite yet. We're going to give Amber and Trang a moment to grab all the questions that might be in there before the waterfall hits, okay? So grab your questions. So this activity is borrowed kindly from friends at OSPI and is a fantastic I love it. It's so cool to really be able to see what people are thinking about. So we're going to do a waterfall activity to close out today's webinar. It'd be great for you to take a moment to think about something you will bring back to your school, your district, or your organization to use this fall or another time this year. Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat, but don't click send yet. Don't click send yet. Don't click send yet. Just type it in the chat. We'll give everyone a minute to do that. We're going to all do it at the same time, so we have a virtual waterfall of all the cool ideas, things that people are going to take away. So don't click in the enter yet. We'll give folks a minute. All right, just one more second here. And I'm also planning to share out all these ideas that people share, anonymized, but all these ideas so you can remember and see what everyone noted. So we'll get that rolled out with the final information as well. All right, so 1, 2, 3, hit send. Whoa, lots coming in. I saw college knowledge. I see connecting with college-bound regional officers. Talk more about technical schools no longer needed for the 2.0 GPA. Talking about flyers and presentations at parent meetings. Fantastic. I love all these ideas. Talking with CBS Info, Otterbot, wonderful. FAFSA simplification workshop, awesome, so cool. It's hard to keep up with it because everybody just dumped it in at once. It's so exciting to see. Fantastic. Seeing a lot of college knowledge, bringing all these information back to students, wonderful. FAFSA, WASA easier to fill out, absolutely. Doing a guessing game for, what do they think the FAFSA will open? That's a really cool idea. I love that. Doing a little bit of a pool, fantastic. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Again, we'll get those ideas wrapped up and rolled out with the after the presentation with the deck and the recording and all those good things too. Before we get to the questions though, I just wanted to ask everyone a favor, if you wouldn't mind, please fill out our quick post-webinar survey. We'd love to hear from you. A little bit about the survey or the webinar. There's also an opportunity if you have specific questions and want to get connected to someone specific, you can do that, or you can let it remain anonymous. The QR code and link are on the slide. Sean, thank you for dropping that in the chat. Appreciate that very much. And then, so we'll leave that up there for a minute. Please, again, the link is in the chat from Sean. Thanks, Sean. And then finally, as with Kennedy and the CBRO team, really just want to thank you for your time and joining us, as well as just put the different ways to contact the College Bound team at WASAC. You can email us, call us, the website, join our newsletter. We'll send you all the good information that we have out there. So with that, that is our presentation for today. I'm gonna turn over to Amber. Amber, do we have any questions that we want to roll out for us? And I'll kind of facilitate who's gonna answer them.
Hi. Okay, so we had a question about getting access to the College Bound portal. So I'm gonna put the email that they need to contact, but if you could recap the information that they should include in that email, I think that'd be appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Amber. So please put questions in. So first of all, before we get to that question, put questions in the chat. Great, thank you. So in terms of accessing the portal, Sean, do you want to answer that question? I saw you came on camera since you work with accounts.
Yeah, sure. So all we'll need is your name, your job title, your work phone number, and we'll have your email. It has to be a work-related email to the school district or to the organization if it's a nonprofit. And then also what schools you need access for and what districts, because we do have some schools with same name across the state. So thank you.
Thanks, Sean. Great question. Appreciate that.
Also, if somebody can, there's been some questions about the portal upload. So some people are wondering if 7th grade students will be uploaded in November, and then another person was wondering about class of 2027 students specifically.
Yeah, great. So Sean, would you mind speaking to that one as well? And just a reminder for the previous question, email collegebound@wasac.wa.gov to get started with that. Yeah, great. So Sean,
Yeah.
would you answer that question?
So so we will get the 7th graders and some 8th graders, 9th graders, if newly eligible or if they are eligible, as of November, and then we get them every single month afterwards. And as for, I saw that there was another similar question, but about enrollment data. We also do end up getting more of our enrollment data for other grade levels for our already matched CBS students. And that comes typically in October as school districts are entering their enrollment data into CEDARS.
Thanks, Sean. Amber,
Okay.
what's next?
Great. So we have another question about auto enrollment. Are all Seattle public students automatically signed up for College Bound?
Yeah. I mean, not all students, I should phrase that, but again, it's back to that eligibility. If they're eligible for free and reduced price lunch, which is based off of, again, multiple sources, whether that's the free and reduced price lunch actual application or a family income survey, SNAP eligibility, TANF, etc., migrant youth or foster youth, they would be enrolled. And so every and all school district in the state we get enrollment data for.
Great, thank you. And then this question might be better for Trang. Is there an approximate timeline for Create Your Future resources?
Trang, are you able to jump on and answer that question for us? I wonder, was she not listed
Oh,
as a...
sorry. Okay, so it looks like she says she can't unmute. So our timeline is later half of the year, in November. So please keep an eye out on our walk-in page. I will also type in the link in the chat. Also, if you guys haven't connected to your College Bound regional officers, please do so. You know, we would love to connect with you. We all send out monthly newsletters, and we will let you know the minute that those are available. Okay, let's see. Another question. This is about OtterBot. Does OtterBot information go out to families in their home language?
Yeah, great question. Sam, I see you coming on. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Great.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sam Washington. I'm an assistant director with the College Access Initiatives Division, and I'm a program manager for OtterBot. So this year is actually a big year for us. We've been doing a lot of research and a lot of grant work to update, upgrade, evolve OtterBot to support students and families in more specific ways, including being able to chat and send information to students in their home languages. It's not as expansive as we would like at the moment, but for now, we are expanding support to students and their families in Spanish. And then hopefully in years to come, we can extend those to some of the more frequently spoken home languages across our state. One note that I do want to mention is that even if we can't support students by sending out the campaigns just yet, they also have the ability to change the language that the bot excuse me, they also have the ability to change the language that the bot speaks back to them in by using some of the commands that are available in the bot. For more information on all that and how it works, we've got a ton of great information on our OtterBot website. So I would encourage you to hop over there, check out some more details on how that works, and then happy to answer any additional questions you all have here or even beyond the webinar.
Great. Thanks, Sam.
Okay, so I have a couple questions about GPA that are kind of related. So one is, if a student does Seattle Promise and then transfers to a 4-year college, does College Bound cover them? And then another question.
Can we pause on that one? Do you mind if I
Yeah, no
okay,
problem.
great. Thanks, Amber. Just knowing me, I will get lost in the questions, so I want to make sure I answer them. Great, thank you. So yeah, so College Bound, as long as they enrolled within college, in college within a year, which they would do for Seattle Promise, they're and they'd have if they did Seattle Promise, let's say for 2 years, or community college for 2 years and then transferred to a 4-year, they would have they'd still have to use it within that 5-year window from high school graduation. And so they could get College Bound. They don't have to use it right away as a first-year student if other funds covered them. But they could absolutely, as long as they had met residency and the income requirements and things like that at the 4-year, but they would be able to receive College Bound absolutely for that within that 5-year window.
Great, thank you. So the other question related to GPA is if a student goes to community or technical college after high school and then decides to transfer, does it matter what GPA they have in college in order to continue getting college bound?
Yeah, great question. They would need to just meet the college that they're going to's admission requirements and satisfactory academic progress requirements to be able to receive financial aid in general, but there would not be a specific college GPA required for college bound outside of what the four-year college would require for, attending for satisfactory academic progress and admission.
Great, thank you. Also, another question about OtterBot. Would you be able to share what the content that's being shared through OtterBot with 11th and 12th grade students and the timeline? It would also be helpful to have any timeline information that's going out to new eligible students.
Sorry, I don't know if you all can hear me. I'm seeing a little bit of stuttering.
Oh. I think we might have lost Sam just now, but I can speak. Oh, Sam's back. Do you want to try it, Sam?
Yeah, certainly.
Okay,
Amber,
great.
could you do me a favor and repeat the question one more time? I was distracted by my technology.
Yeah, no problem. So let's see. Would you be able to share about the content being shared through OtterBot with 11th and 10th grade students and that timeline? It'd be helpful to have any timeline information that's going out to new eligible students.
Right. Okay. Great question. So for 12th grade students, we'll start there. A lot of it is about the actionable steps that they need to take in order to take the transition or to make the transition successfully after graduation. So that includes applying for financial aid, identifying their chosen pathway, and then navigating the admissions or entry process into that pathway. This year specifically, with the delay in the financial aid application in mind, a lot of the focus for this fall is going to be on the preparation. So applying for the FSAID, signing up for their WASFA login, getting the documents they need prepared, all of that good stuff. And then as the year goes on, it'll be continued support kind of in line with those steps that they should be taking. So actually filling out the application, admission steps, reviewing award letters, decision-making, registering for orientation, all of that, all the way through graduation. As for the 11th grade students, it is more so preparation for them to go into those steps that take place during their senior year. So a lot of getting familiar with the terminology that they're going to run into in those different processes in their senior year. A lot of investigatory work on their parts, looking into the different pathways that are available to them and what the requirements are to enter those pathways, encouraging them to do, different kinds of surveys and indexes to see where their interests may lie. Also attending things like college fairs, college tours, talking to admissions counselors early, those sorts of steps that they can take to make the senior year process that they have to go through a lot easier. So we really do try to make sure students are going to be as prepared as they possibly can before the next steps are upon them. Our hope is that we can continue to extend OtterBot to be a service for students earlier and earlier in their high school career. So that way, all of the information that I just talked about for their senior and junior year will be preceded by additional prep and planning steps. Why keeping your grades up is important, why exploring different options and opportunities are important, getting them familiar and building that early awareness and belief in their ability, their access to going to whatever post-secondary pathway they're interested in. So hopefully there's a lot of information there. Hopefully that covered the question that was in the chat.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate that. Amber, what do we have next?
Okay, lots of questions on auto enrollment. So one person says, I find it confusing that students must be on free and reduced lunch to qualify. However, some districts provide free lunch for all students. This leads families and students to think that they are qualified.
Yeah, that's a great point. And so I just want to make a distinction here. So with College Bound, the legislation reads that students have to be eligible for free and reduced price lunch, not receiving it. So there is a difference there. And now if there's specific, so eligible, and so even if districts feed everybody, you know, a community eligible program, CEP school, if everybody gets free meals, the district still needs to report eligible students up to OSPI, and then that's what's used for the actual auto enrollment. In terms of communication out to students and families, what we would encourage would be using our middle school intro flyer, which is on our website, which explains the income guidelines to give students and families a sense of what they would need to be auto enrolled. Hopefully that would help with confusion and alignment with the requirements.
Great. So I have a similar question. I don't know if it would be about the same answer.
Okay.
But for students, or for schools that give free lunch to all families, if parents don't fill out that free and reduced price lunch form, how do counselors connect with them, or how do they get enrolled in the program?
Yeah, great question. So I think it's a little different of a question. And so again, there's a variety of ways that students can get automatically enrolled into College Bound. So it's not just the free and reduced price lunch application. If they're receiving SNAP benefits, they're automatically enrolled via data exchange that OSPI has with DSHS, TANF, and other programs as well. But school districts that are community eligible schools, that family income survey is important because that was something that could lead them to not be included if they don't do that, if they're not part of one of the other programs that are automatically enrolled that I mentioned a minute ago. So that family income survey could be a really helpful and important tool for some families at those community schools.
Thank you. And
and sorry, one more thing.
Oh.
If you're unsure like who uses that family income survey, I'd encourage checking in with like your front office staff or your business staff. I know that OSPI on their nutrition and they have a whole family income survey or website that has resources and tools and posters and flyers and templates for the survey as well. So there are resources to support getting that survey out there.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So another question, are there families that are falling through the gaps of auto enrollment, and who should we be reaching out to?
Yeah, if you do find that you have a family that that you believe should be signed up but isn't or wasn't, please always reach out to us at WASAC. That's why I left the slide up here, because it's good to reference during some of these questions with our email and phone number. And we can look into specific situations. I will let you know, I'll know kind of some numbers examples that, before auto enrollment, we were having roughly 30 to 32, maybe 33,000 students apply and complete an application every year. Since auto enrollment has started, we're at about 50,000. So it's a gigantic increase. But because there are a lot of moving parts, I would always encourage, if you feel a student should be enrolled but isn't, please contact us. We'll talk through it. We'll figure out what might be going on and the best options for support.
Thank you. Okay, now I have a couple questions about contact info and portal uploads.
Yeah.
The first question is, when do you guys want student cell phone info? It might be hard for middle school students to have a cell phone. Is that added into the portal?
Yeah, so the portal update template that Sean mentioned has the phone number and email in there, but it doesn't have to be put in there if it's like for a middle school student. But really starting in high school, if they have that number, that's when we'd really like it, because that's when we're going to start expanding OtterBot. Right now we're texting juniors and seniors. So really, if you see juniors and seniors and family members of them who are missing a phone number or an email address, that would be kind of great to get that contact information. But we are planning to expand later this year to lower high school grades with some messaging too. Does that answer the whole question?
Yes, thank you
Okay,
very
great,
much.
thanks.
So another question about contact information. Is the bad address list primarily focused on the physical address of students?
Yeah, Sean, do you want to take that one since you're on?
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you for asking that. It would typically be the mailing address of students. So we would want their PO box in cases that, for instance, if they don't receive mail at the house, then we want to look at the mailing address if it's different.
And a related one, a specific counselor says they have at least one student with a bad address list who lives and receives mail at the address listed. They're not sure how to fix that.
Yeah. Well, typically what happens with bad addresses is either there was no address or the mail got returned back to us and then we mark it as a bad address. But if you believe and you've checked with the student that is a correct address and it is the mailing and physical address, then what you can do is reach out to College Bound and we can manually reconcile that for those specific like cases.
Great. Thanks, Sean.
Thank you so much. So another question about College Bound eligibility. Let's say a student takes longer than 5 years to complete a college degree. Will College Bound cover them through the whole degree? For example, if they take less classes each quarter if they work full-time?
Yeah, fantastic question. This is a really great one. Unfortunately, right now, the way College Bound is set up is no. They have that clock that starts ticking at high school graduation, and they have 5 years after high school graduation to use their College Bound. So let's say they were in that situation, though, they could get Washington College Grant after that 5-year window, so they could still get some support. I will yeah, so they'd still have that window that they would need, the 5 years window. I will say that WASAC is proposing some legislation to adjust that moving forward this next ledge session. We'll see what happens. Who knows exactly, you know? I don't have a crystal ball right next to me with my Diet Coke, no crystal ball. But we'll see. But right now, no, it would cut off at that 5 years, but they could possibly receive Washington College Grant after that.
Thank you. There's also a lingering question on clock hours. Would
Okay.
somebody be able to provide the link and maybe just quickly recap the process?
Yeah, let's go back a slide or two here. Oops. Wrong way, sorry. Just love that waterfall picture. I just want to see it so many times. Okay, so the process is you need to register, create a PD enroller account with the ESD 113. If you go to this website that's listed up on the top of the slide here, that's for this specific event. You register and then it should take you through the specific event to take you to the payment process of getting that certified. What WASAC does is after the event, we will send over a list of everyone who attended and for how long to verify basically that folks were here for the full hour and a half of the webinar. And that gets reconciled when you apply for the clock hours through the website here. So I'll
Thank-
leave that slide up for a couple minutes so people can grab the site.
Awesome. So someone also asked, is there an organizational chart available for the relationship between WASAC, WACAN, 12th Year, College Success Foundation, and College Bound? It could be confusing as to which one to go to for what.
Sure. That is a really fantastic question. And I will say that we're actually working on something very similar to that between the two organizations. So I'm going to try and explain it using my hands because I love to talk with my hands, and hopefully those motions will help. And I also love, as you've seen me, if you've seen me present before, the word and term umbrella. So whoever asked this question, thank you for giving me the opportunity to use my favorite metaphor. So we are in the process of working on a roles document that would update kind of who does what and who's responsible for what, that we would turn out for public use as well, and to help guide folks to know who to go to. But really there are two main entities. WASAC, which is the state agency that administers college access programming, 529 programs, and other financial aid programs and things like that. So there's WASAC, state agency. Then there's also College Success Foundation, a nonprofit organization in Washington and Washington, D.C., Washington State and D.C. And part of College Success Foundation's umbrella is the College Bound regional officers and the WACAN team. So that is all part of College Success Foundation. Under the WASAC umbrella, you have 12th Year Campaign as a prong on the umbrella, which supports financial aid awareness with resources and materials. You have College Bound Scholarship, the administration of the program, so meaning the direct communication to students and families and educators, the actual awarding of funds, things like that. Where we have a dotted line that goes back, or maybe not the dotted line, but like the line with the two arrows that goes back and forth to each other, is around supporting educators through the College Bound work. And so we both do that in different ways. I would say that the real power, and for someone from CSF, please feel free to jump in after a second here. But the real power of the partnership is that there's regionally based folks with College Success Foundation who can help in your region. They're embedded in your communities. They can help. They're closer to you. They can help with those regional needs as well. Versus with WASAC, especially with College Bound, we're more on the administrative and the support side of things with College Bound. I don't know, Amber, if you want to say anything else about that, or correct me if you feel I got something wrong too, but please jump in.
No, I love the image that you painted. That's a great metaphor, with the umbrella and the different prongs. I think that's wonderful. All right, so we're winding down. We've only got a couple more questions left.
Okay.
So someone asked if you can show the slide again with the FAFSA simplification in-person training, and also how to sign up.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the FAFSA simplification training slide via Aim Higher Washington. These are the dates on the left-hand side here. Over on the right-hand side, there's a QR code and a learn more at the wasac.wa.gov/aimhigher-training. The virtual training on October 12th, that registration is available under the FAFSA simplification tab on the website right now. I think Christina said, yeah, by the end of this week, we should have the in-person training links live as well. So check back in a couple days for the in-person registration. But again, right there in the middle of the slide on that wasac.wa.gov/aim-higher-training.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Okay, so our final question.
Okay.
Can you also turn back to the slide that has the College Bound Regional Officer
Yes.
contact information for counselors?
Absolutely. Contact information, this one right here. Perfect. Great. I love this slide because it really just, again, in my mind, it embeds that regional focus that y'all have, which is such a powerful resource in our state for supporting the students and folks working with college-bound students.
Awesome. Well, our questions have dried up, so I don't know if
Okay.
there's any. Oh, okay. So sorry, one more question came in.
Okay.
Are there regional officers available to train support staff on the use of the portal? And let's see, does anybody from my team want to answer that question?
Sure, I can. Yes, that is absolutely something that we can help with. We can walk you through how to gain access to it, which is really just a simple email to WASAC, going through it with you, and just the different facets of it and how you can best utilize it to support your students. So yes.
Thanks,
I
Kennedy.
also do want to plug that Sean has uploaded some amazing, incredibly helpful videos on YouTube that really walk you through the portal, the template, all of those resources. If you get in touch with us via email, I'd be more than happy to send you all of those links, and then we can kind of help you from there as well.
Sean, were you gonna share something? Saw you jump back online or back with your camera on.
Amber already mentioned it about
Okay.
the videos. Thank you, Amber.
Excellent. Cool. Great. Amber, any other questions that have come through?
Yes. When will slides be available for attendees to reference?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. Our hope is within a week to 2 weeks, so keep an eye out on the website. We will definitely send a College Bound Champions listserv message out once they're available. So that's our goal in about a week to 2 weeks, because we're going to take all the questions that you asked today and create a Q&A document so that those are reflected, as well as the waterfall of fantastic brilliance that was shared. To share out with folks. And so it'll take us a little bit of time to get that packaged and processed and ready to go out. But if you do need, I would say if you do need the deck for some reason, the specific PowerPoint deck, sooner than that, just send us an email. We're happy to send it out, but we'll put the recording, the deck, the Q&A, the waterfall, the best practices up in probably a week to 2 weeks. Great. Any other ones, Amber?
Awesome. Well, I think that's it for now.
All right. Well, I just want to thank everyone for joining us and hanging out this afternoon. We really appreciate your time and your commitment to supporting college-bound students and to this work and to our state. Thank you to the WASAC team who helped put this together, as well as the College Success Foundation. Love our partnership together. And again, reach out with any questions. We're here to help. We just really appreciate everyone's time. Thanks so much.